ahead and mute yourselves so we can hear one another clearly. And it is my pleasure and excitement, to welcome Keith and Danna Demma to the call. And they've been really good friends of ours for a long time, travel buddies, love traveling with them. And why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves and welcome your guests.
I'm Danna and Keith Demma, or Keith and Danna Demma, for those that don't know us. I do want to thank you all for coming on tonight and supporting us and taking time to learn about what we love so much. We've been involved with LifeVantage for over 3 years ago when Bob and April introduced us, and we are so thankful that they did. We've had so many amazing things happen personally in our lives, from the products as well as the business, and you'll find out just by their presentation why. So I'm just gonna give it back to you, Bob and April.
Yeah, thank you all so much for joining us today.
All right, great. Well, again, we're super excited you're here. We're gonna have a little bit of fun, and I'm actually gonna talk about activation versus supplementation. And you know, this was a really exciting discovery that we found out about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, and had never heard of. And it's kind of strange because we were actually in this industry for 25 years and had never heard of activation, even though we had worked with literally hundreds of thousands of doctors. We had earned millions in the industry. And again, after 25 years, had not heard about it. And I'm sure when I get done, you're going to be as excited about activation as I still am, and just such an amazing company that we are with. So again, I'm going to talk about supplementation versus activation. If you're not familiar with supplementation, supplementation really is when you take in direct antioxidants, when you take in maybe a multivitamin, or if you're taking vitamin C because of the pandemic. Those are what we consider direct antioxidants when you eat fruits and vegetables. But we're going to talk about something much, much more exciting, a really exciting discovery that actually goes back to the 1960s. You see, there was a cardiologist, and what he asked himself was, you know, is aging something that we have to live with? So, you know, we don't have to live with that now, as he's discovered, but back in the 60s, he found something really, really cool. He found at a cellular level that there is a protein in these cells that actually throws off a lot of antioxidants, something our body does. And so he found this in a lab, super exciting discovery. In fact, this discovery was so exciting, he was awarded the Elliott Cresson Award, which other people that have won that award are like the Wright brothers, Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell. So big, big discovery. You and I know, have we heard of it? Probably not. But I don't know how you feel about aging. You know, I can tell you, for me, it's made a huge impression on my life from an early time. I can remember after being married for a few years, my husband's grandmother passed. And she passed in a manner that has always stuck with me, in a way that I really hope and pray that I get to go. You know, she went through her house. There were, they had 8 kids in that family. So a large family, lots of grandkids, you know, nieces, the whole bit. And so what she did is she went through her whole house, and she took every item and she labeled every item as to who was to get that item, so that I guess there'd be no fighting or anything. But then she sat down in a chair and she just passed. And that's what impressed me, because she had no known disease. And I just thought, wow, that's a quality of the way that I want to pass. Unlike my grandmother, who, you know, Bobby and I took care of for quite some time, in and out of nursing homes and feeding tubes, and just the quality of life at the end was horrible. And, you know, they say today that the average person lives to be about 78 years old. And maybe you've heard that. But what they talk about a lot more, and more importantly, is a term called health span. And I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but the average person's health span, not lifespan, but health span, is only 66 years. So that means there's 12 years of not being in good health, in poor health, dependent on medication and other means. So, you know, certainly not a way that anybody wants to live. But what's even more importantly, because we've discovered that aging now starts in your 20s. For guys, they get to age 24. Us women, we only get to 22. But this same cardiologist, decades later, decided, or actually found a way that he could flip on a switch to actually get this gene activating again, this protein activating again, so it could throw off all the antioxidants that we need and reduce something called oxidative stress, which I'll go into. But this pathway is called NRF2 activation. And really what it does is it's flipping on our good genes, turning off our bad genes. So now today we can say that we can literally be in charge of 80% of our genes. You may have, said or heard somebody's like, well, if my mother has this disease, I'm going to have that disease. If my father has that disease, things run in the family. Those are our genes. We're destined. That's not true anymore. We have control over 80% of our genes through products like these, diet and exercise. And so the term that I'm going to talk about a little today is called oxidative stress. And really oxidative stress kind of simply is the difference between the amount of free radicals that we create, and we create them while we're exercising, even while we're talking, while we're breathing and eating, we are creating a lot of free radicals. And we try to offset them with supplementation. We try to offset them with multivitamins, direct antioxidants, fruits and vegetables. But the sad fact is our bodies create so many more of these free radicals that you can see a normal cell over time, a normal cell over time actually starts to look really bad. And so this cardiologist actually came out with a product called Protandim NRF2. And this is a really cool product. What it does is it reduces that oxidative stress. Again, the things that are killing the cells, all disease, all aging comes out of this oxidative stress. It's reducing oxidative stress by 40% in the first 30 days. And so Protandim actually creates 1,000,000 times per second the antioxidant value. It increases something called glutathione. If you're not familiar with glutathione, it's your master antioxidant. And people literally go to spas, medical spas and stuff in order to get glutathione either injected or they do IVs, different things, try to increase their glutathione levels. They can't get them anywhere near this, but we increase them by 300%. And because all of this is so cutting edge, unlike anything else, it's really category creating. It's really exciting stuff. We have 13 patents that actually prevent the duplication of this formulation. Because you can imagine every pharmaceutical, nutraceutical company out there would love to have this formulation, because this is the basis of plant-based medicine these days. This is where people want. It's all plant-based. And you can see the ingredients below. You're probably very familiar with turmeric, probably very familiar with green tea, maybe some of the other ones. I know Bobby and I had personally taken 3 of them, but wouldn't you rather take one little pill proven to do all this that I just mentioned above, reducing the oxidative stress by 40%, increasing glutathione by 300% with one little yellow pill? But it gets better than that. Instead of having to take 5 pills, you take 1 pill. But if you took each of one of those pills, one of those plant-based all by yourself, you'd get very little activation. If you took all 5 of them together, you'd get a little bit more. We get 1,800% better results using his formulation, his recipe, which is just so exciting. It's so exciting that, and you heard someone mention earlier, 87 glasses of wine, that's how much we would need to take in to even get close to the results of Protandim. We would literally need 11 pounds of blueberries, 375 oranges, 120 vitamin C tablets, and then, like she said, the 87 glasses of wine. But we need to do that every day, day in, day out, which makes it, almost impossible. So Protandim not only replaces having to do that, and we get that much better activation, like I said, 1,000,000 times per second, the antioxidant value, which we just can't get from ingesting them foods, but it does something even better. For every month that you are on Protandim, you reduce a whole decade of oxidative stress. So again, oxidative stress is all disease, it's all aging. So much so that if I took 4 people, an 80-year-old who'd been on Protandim for 8 months, a 60-year-old who'd been on Protandim for 6 months, a 40-year-old who'd been on Protandim for 4 months, and a 20-year-old, drew all their blood, I could not truly tell whose was the blood of the 20-year-old. So that means all of us that have been on Protandim for, every month, for every decade that we've been alive, we all have the blood of a 20-year-old. And, for me, that is super exciting. And I can still clearly remember when I heard that one. But this is not my opinion. And having been in this industry now for 28 years, the first 25 years with a company that had direct antioxidants, anything I suggested, the amount of D you should take or anything, was really my opinion. Well, none of this is my opinion. There's a site called pubmed.gov. Typically, doctors go to that site, scientists go to that site, and they're looking for drugs. They want to find pharmaceutical drugs. They want to find the interactions, cautions, and warnings of that. Well, pubmed.gov is a site we can all go to. And it's really fascinating because there are some 230,000 studies in PubMed that directly relate to oxidative stress. And in fact, you can go there, and if there's some kind of disease or aging process that you're concerned with, you can actually put in oxidative stress and that disease. And not just any product gets there. We have 26 peer-reviewed studies to date that are in there, but not just everybody can get in there. In fact, you really won't find too many other nutritional products because nobody wants to pay for things that can't be patented. So you'll find that in order to be a peer-reviewed study, not only does the large leading university, and you can see some of them on the bottom, there's tons of them, have to do that study, but it has to be conferred by some other doctors as well. So it's not one person's opinion, and it is definitely an independent study. But you can see Harvard University has done a study there, Colorado State University, Florida University, Washington State University went so far as to say, and this is how exciting it is, the health effects of NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. And they went on to liking this, that it was exciting as the discovery of penicillin and aspirin. So this is the start of plant-based medicine, and it is super, super exciting. The company came out with a second theory of aging, which is even more important, and those in the medical field will know of mitochondrial dysfunction. But what they've done is taken this formulation so that our bodies can truly heal themselves. Because mitochondria, or ATP, as you might know it from science, is the energy in every cell. In fact, something like the brain and heart cell may have 4,000 mitochondria per cell, so lots and lots of these. Our muscles may have as much as 8,000 per cell, but we do a good job through, again, just our living environment, stress, foods, whatever, of killing off almost half of it by midlife. So by the time you're midlife, you've done lots of damage to these mitochondria, which again are important for cellular health and certainly recovery. So Protandim NRF1 Synergizer was created, again, all natural ingredients, and it actually increases this energy, this ATP, that will slow down the aging process. It improves sleep quality and cellular repair, and it supports cardiovascular and brain health. So you can see these are really, really important 1-2 punch with, fighting all the free radicals, and then also helping increase the ATP at a cellular level. But this one's super exciting. It's called NAD Synergizer, and it's got a host of benefits, but this is a product that you really, really feel. Everybody loves it, but this is our third pathway of aging, and it does everything from mood, from cholesterol, from exercise endurance, for exercise recovery, libido, weight loss, cardiovascular. You can go on and on with the benefits of this product, but we get 100% activation of this product within the first 24 hours. Nobody else out there comes even close. In fact, if you were to go on calorie restricted diet, very severe, maybe 400 or 600 calories a day, you could activate some of these proteins so that you could get this NAD synergizer, but it doesn't come close. We get 100% in the first 24 hours, makes it super easy. And like I said, you look at some of those benefits. Who doesn't want those benefits? What's even more exciting, these three pathways, these three products used together is called our Protandim Tri-Synergizer. And when you use all three of these products together, we get 2,100% better results with each of those products. So a lot of times people say, well, should I use this one or that one, or which do you think? I'm telling you, you should use all three, because again, this is patent pending, the science behind this of using the three of them together and getting 2,100% better results. This is new to our line, and this is super exciting. And this addresses a lot what's going on in our culture, the pandemic in particular. For so long, there's been a lot of products out there that once you got sick, you took. This is immune boosting. It's going to help you from being sick. It's got all the things that the doctors are talking about on the news, plus one very exciting ingredient. But it's got the zinc, it's got the C, it's got the D, it's got the elderberry, it's got fermented yeast. Cool backstory on that. Don't have that for tonight. You can ask Danna or whoever got you on here, but it's in a drinkable form. And when I think of the people that applies to, the elderly who obviously don't want to take any more pills, and what about kids? Because, you know, a lot of times they don't want to swallow pills. So it's got lots and lots of uses, even for you to take your products with, and then, you know, swallow with the daily wellness. And you'll love the taste of this. Elderberry tastes great tasting. You know, in addition to the products that I've talked about, that same NRF2 activation is in our hair care. It's in our skincare, and it's in our brain energy drink. And we're all on a Think Dirty app. If you're not familiar with the Think Dirty app, go ahead and plug that in your app on your phone later. Take whatever shampoos, conditioners, cleansers you're using and stick it in there. Makeup, doesn't matter. You'll be amazed. Our products are so clean, but probably what you're taking may not be so clean. I was really, really surprised at what we were using, particularly for shampoo. So really important app there. Okay, but again, this is just summarizing the benefits. I've personally loved all these benefits, from the hair, the skin, to just the exercise, endurance, and recovery, as I'm a big tennis player. But you can see sleep, vitality, energy, memory, focus, concentration, libido, weight loss. There are healthier hair, skin, and nails I talked about, anti-aging, and my personal favorite, the blood of a 20-year-old. And who doesn't want the blood of a 20-year-old? But you know, that's a cool story on the products and really category creating. But what's even more exciting is the backstory on how this company came about. And my husband's going to go ahead and he's going to share that story with you as well. So hold on one second, please.
Hey, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for your time. We very much appreciate the support and never take anyone's time for granted. So thank you so much for choosing to spend 30 minutes with us. You know, if you have questions or comments, feel free at any time to just drop comments in the chat box below, and we will make sure that whatever it is that you left there, we get back to you on it. But what I get to talk to you about is the company, which is called LifeVantage. And, you know, very interesting story. And, you know, Danna Demma mentioned in the beginning, but we'd spent 25 years in a supplement company that closed suddenly late in 2017. And, you know, we were free agents and looking to see what was next, you know, what were we going to go next? And, you know, we heard the story of the product, but we heard the story of the company. And I want to share that with you over the next couple of minutes. You know, what is LifeVantage? And it all began, you know, as a biotech company, a biomedical company, which was founded back in 2003. But it really made a splash, a lot of noise. You know, and April talked to you about the cardiologist that, you know, invented the NRF2 technology and the protandem. Well, when word got out that science had been discovered, you know, ABC Primetime investigative report is famous for doing gotcha pieces, you know, trying to catch people in a scam, lying, you know, not being truthful, all of that. It's one of those kind of gotcha shows. And John Quiñones went in to prove that what we were legally allowed to say, which is that the protandem NRF2 reduces oxidative stress by 40% in the first 30 days. And the rest of that is by about 70% in the first 90 days, okay? And the federal government allows us to say that based on the test. Well, they did that report. John Quiñones had his blood drawn and was going to have it checked again in 30 days. But he only waited 2 weeks to have it checked again. And you know, his level of oxidative stress was reduced by 45% in just 2 weeks. He didn't even wait a month, and we're claiming 40% in a month. So obviously their gotcha piece that turned into our commercial is what happened. and millions of people have seen that. Whoever invited you on tonight could send you the link to that. It's kind of a dated video now, but it still shows you like how we launched, how things got started. But we're listed on the NASDAQ now, and we're listed under LifeVantage Corporation, or LFVN. We switched our marketing plan, our sales plan, to direct sales in 2009. And let me tell you why. The product was sitting on the shelf in vitamin stores and GNC stores, and nobody knew what it did, including the salespeople. So it wasn't selling because nobody had heard of activation, NRF2 technology. They just, they knew about fish oil and vitamin C. They didn't know about it. So when we switched to a direct sales model in 2009, that was the perfect way of sharing the results of the products, because the product's got a story. It needs a little bit of an explanation. So that led to an enormous market developing called nutrigenomics. And nutrigenomics, which is basically the way nutrients and food interact with our genes, okay? That's going to be a $17 billion industry just in the next couple of years. Brand new industry that came out of nowhere. We did over 232 million in sales last year. By the way, our best year during the pandemic. Okay, it was our best year. When the world was shut down, we still had our best year. But we're slated to be a $1 billion a year company in the next 3 to 5 years. Just about a year and a half ago, Aaron Brockovich joined our board of directors, and we had the privilege of ringing the closing bell for Wellness Week, January of last year. So that's a little bit about the company. Now, we are a global business, okay? And this excites me. For number one, I love to travel. April loves to travel. We love to go around the world and visit countries and do business while we're visiting countries. So we're currently in 22 countries. Our business plan is to be in 100 countries over the next 5 years. And the newest country that we're going into in the next couple months is the Philippines. So anyone out there that has friends, relatives, Filipino folks are very, very professional in the way they do business. There's a lot of doctors out there, dentists out there, but that's going to be a big market for us. And that's looking like May, June. I just had a conversation with someone about it the other day with corporate, and we're looking at that window there. So anyway, very, very exciting, company to be with, because we are always looking at global expansion. Like I said, the Philippines will be the next one added to this list. Now, what are the benefits of a business like this, a company like this? And think about this. Think of the pandemic that we've just gone through. Okay, obviously things are opening up again, some states faster than others, but we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But the benefits of this, we get to work from home or anywhere we happen to be. And the work that we do is called social sharing, and we do it by text or from an app on our phone. So the old days of doing business in hotels and training facilities and offices, now it's all about a text and an app on the phone. It's a virtual business, no overhead, okay, minimal startup cost, no inventory. The company ships and drop ships directly to everybody that orders, okay? And we all have our own personal online store. And here's what's really cool about it. You see the website here, and I got my mouse kind of going over there. You can't see on here, but in the top left corner, there's a flag. And when you click on that flag, the website changes to that country and the language of that country and the products available in that country. So when somebody's involved in a business like this, they're involved in being able to do business in 22 countries right from their phone or desktop computer. It's really, amazing when you think about the benefits. And I got to tell you, when everybody was being sent home a year ago and locked down, I'm thinking, wow, has God blessed us, man. We're in a business where we do work from home, and nothing changed. As a matter of fact, our company grew, okay, during that period of time. But what's even more exciting are the earning possibilities. And, I heard April say something earlier. I was in the other room. And she said, this is not my opinion. This is what the science said, and this is what the study said. Well, same thing here, folks. This is not my opinion. This is what the Securities and Exchange Commission says and the Federal Trade Commission. See, when you're publicly traded, you got to submit your financials every 90 days, every quarter. So these are their numbers, okay? The average Pro 3 in our business, now that's right here, that's somebody whose entire team is doing $5,000 in business. So, it could be 50 customers on that Tri-Synergizer, okay? So the earnings on that for the repeat business or the royalties or residual is $600-700 a month. Okay, well, that'll make a car payment that, that put food on the table. But look at the next one, Premier Pro 5, okay? That's $3,100 a month in earnings, okay? That brings maybe a second income in the house back into the house to watch the kids, okay? See, a Pro 5 is somebody that's doing $20,000 worth of business, or about 200 customers are ordering the product. Now, to put that in perspective, April and I have been here a little over 3 years. Okay, now it's going on I think it'll be 3.5 years next month or the month after. And we're closing in on 10,000. Okay, so when I mentioned 200, keep in mind that's not, that's not a big number. Okay, look at Pro 7. They're earning 13,000 an average per month. That's monthly, by the way, all these numbers. So a Pro 7's making about 200,000 a year, a Pro 5 about 40,000 a year, and then, maybe an extra 10,000 at Pro 3. So let me ask you a question. Does that replace income? Does that supplement income? But the beauty of this, you can start making money in it right away. We always teach people a 3 to 5 year business plan. But one of the things that helped us make a decision to come here after doing business with our other company, and we did over $200 million in business with our first company. And obviously our earnings were millions on that. But this is a legacy company. This is a company where you not only do you enjoy it while you're around, while you're alive, but you get to leave it to your children and grandchildren. You get to pass it on. Okay, we're a legacy business, and the company's very big on that. So it's just amazing. But who do you know that would like an extra, $700 a month, $3,100 a month, $13,000 a month? And by the way, we're Pro 8s now. So this is our number, the 25 and change a month. And that's after just 3 years of being in the business. So is this a good business opportunity? If you own a business, these are questions that you really should ask yourself. But if you have a job and you've never owned a business, these are questions you should ask, Excuse me, are the products unique? Are they special? Do they do something that maybe other products don't do? Well, obviously they do. Not only that, but they're patented. Okay, we have 13 international patents on the products. They appeal to a mass market. Okay, the labels always say 18 and over, but let's face it, there's a reason why they say that. But we have a mass market and it's global. Okay, and everybody gets benefits from it. They're very affordable. Using the product like the Pro Tandem or the Tri-Synergizer, you can use it all together for far less than if you bought the ingredients separately. Okay, they're backed by reputable science, they're consumable. And what's great is we use our marketing system is a subscription model. And what that means is by being on a monthly subscription where the company automatically ships it, you save about 20% on the product and you get free shipping. So the next question is, okay, that all sounds good. Can I do this? Is this something that I can do? Well, let me ask you, be honest, okay? Most of us, probably all of us, use a smartphone. So have you ever used an app on your smartphone? Have you ever called an Uber? Have you ever checked in on Facebook or Instagram? Have you ever checked your email? You know, if you've ever used an app on your phone, or if you've ever sent a text message to a friend or a family member or business associate, well, that's what we do. Okay, all the social media is provided to us. Okay, all the videos are provided for us. So the beauty of this business is we do business during the in-between times of our day. See, it's not like 2 hours here, 3 hours there, every evening, every morning. No, because we're using an app and we're texting, it's when we got 2 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and got a few minutes in between. That's how we do the business. And we use a very duplicatable, easy to follow, we call it an ITT system, where we invite people to take a look. We share a tool, either a video or a Zoom, and then we have our teammates help us answer questions. It's very, very simple, but we have all regular meetings and trainings too. We have incentive trips, cash bonuses, just, you know, everything that is needed for a person to succeed in the business. So in closing, I want to share this with you. You know, number one, and I said this before, we are very, very appreciative of the support that you're showing either the Demmas or whoever invited you on tonight. And we thank you for that. We really do treasure your time. But if you want to be supportive, additionally, besides, you know, watching tonight, you can activate your own health and become a customer. There's no fees to join. The monthly subscription allows you to save money, and, you know, the shipping is free. Okay, I would recommend to try Synergizer, best place to start. If you like something that you heard about the money or the company or the business, hey, you know, talk to us about it and let us say, you know, maybe you want to share this with other people. Maybe you are good at using your phone and using an app. You know, I love sharing these products and changing people's lives and building a legacy business. I just love it. I don't feel like I ever work a day in my life because I love what I do so much. But the other thing that we really treasure is if you would at least be a source of referrals. And if not for yourself, then for your friend who invited you on here. See, referrals are a big thing. And, you know, I remember when 9/11 happened and I lived in New York, we all said we were only, if you got lucky, you were one removed from losing somebody. And what that meant was if you didn't lose somebody in the 3,000 people that perished that day, a friend or relative of yours did. But after this pandemic, we all know lots of people who either got sick, knew someone or related to someone that passed, but certainly know people that were affected financially through their jobs, businesses being closed and all of that. So, you know, we'd love any referrals that you could send, and all you got to do is speak to the person who invited you. But in closing, and I'm going to bring the Demmas back on to just finish things up in a moment. But again, we're very grateful for your time and being here tonight. So if you're ready, you know, you really like what you heard about activation, you're going to hear a lot about activation in the coming years. That's where the science is going. Supplements are going to drop off somewhat. Activation is going to take over. And that would just be great. If you're ready to join the team and do something with the business, that would be great. But even if you have questions, because look, you may not have given any thought to any of this and you're just hearing about it and you got some questions, we'd love the opportunity and appreciate the opportunity to answer them. So let me do this. Let me stop share with the slides and go back to the main screen. And there they are. Hey, Keith, Danna, are you unmuted where you can?
We are, Bobby. First, thank you and April very much for, you know, helping us put this together. We want to thank everybody who joined us today and supporting us, for all the people who supported us over the years, for all the referrals. There's just two things I just want to quickly touch on and that Bob and April mentioned. One is the legacy business. I think most of you know about our family and you know about our youngest son, Max, with Down syndrome. This is a way for us to leave something that he can continue to support him. And so that's one of the things that we're definitely, passionate about this business because of the legacy aspect of it. We can use it to help support our kids, when we're no longer around. And I think that's just critical and important. And the passive income that we have right now, that extra income goes towards the therapies. It goes towards our kids' sporting events. It's the things that allow our kids to do the things in life and be
Wait,
out.
are you telling me the kids cost some money? Is that what you're saying?
Bill and Christine Bath are on the call here. Their kids play hockey. We probably have a couple hockey players out here.
I know you guys do hockey. You picked an expensive one with hockey.
Pick it. That's the crazy thing. So don't let your kids pick sports. That's the lesson of this call. No, again, we want to thank you. We thank you for all the support, all the love, and we're open for questions and open to partner with people who want to earn some, extra residual income.
Danna, you got anything?
I just want to say thank you to everybody who joined. I'm amazed with all the people that are on here. My parents are here. That's exciting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to join us tonight. I appreciate it.
Well, that's the information for tonight, folks. If we did pique your interest in products or business or whatever it is, just curiosity, please get back to the person that, invited you on, and we'll take care of whatever your questions or needs are. So anyway, we always like to end with a virtual hug. So if you guys don't mind, give a virtual hug, please, everybody. Or give a heart, one or the other, either one. But we appreciate it. And thanks so much for your time. And look forward to talking to you in the near future. God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you.